Hey there, thanks for tuning in for the top 7 rock cuts of the week. This is Great Basin Prospecting, and here are the rocks that we're going to be checking out. We've got 7 awesome rocks. Welcome back to all the current subscribers. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think down in the comments and what your favorites are. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you liked the video enough to subscribe. All the rocks were found in northern Nevada by myself, except for the rock in the middle lower. That one is a subscriber gift, so thank you there. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, and we're gonna get to that rock first. So here is our guest rock, hailing from Lake Michigan. This is a coral of some sort that has been agatized, it looks like. And that is about all I can tell from the outside. I have never cut one of these before, so I had no idea what the inside was going to look like. But I can tell you right now that I did not think that this was even a possibility. Look at that. Is that not just so gorgeous? So this coral has been replaced with a crystal druzy, which is just gorgeous. And we have some nice banding around the perimeter as well, but these crystal caves are just stunning. I can't believe that's what was inside of this. I'm not sure that I would have cut it. Had I known that this was an option, I would have been afraid of messing something up on the inside, but I'm glad that I did. This is just beautiful. Wow. I never thought I would cut a geode, so this is pretty cool. Just a beautiful piece. This one, definitely I will figure out a way to get it polished, and this is going on a shelf so I can look at it. Really nice. All right, next up we've got this rock, which as you can see from the outside, we have some really interesting material. It looks like it's a crystal or an agate. There's some iron staining going on, but we can also see what looks like some nice translucent red and blue and maybe some orange yellow. Kind of hard to tell with the iron staining, and it has a nice wear on it. The red and the blue on this part here near where the cut is look really cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside, and that is amazing. Wow. So this is a chaotic banded agate, flow banded agate with a really cool blue and red center. This is another one that I found roadside, believe it or not. With a little bit closer look at the halves, we can see some of the finer detail. And towards the right side, that white is really intricate, lace-like, in terms of the banding, and you can see how cool and chaotic the colors and the flow banding is on that half. And this half looks even a little bit different than the other half. There's a little bit more, I think, of the lighter material towards the left side, and the banded white areas look really neat, kind of where we're zooming in here. And there's a pool of light material that's on both sides there. Really cool, really unique one. All right, next up, we've got this rock. From the outside, we can see a clear brecciated pattern. There's lots of stones. It maybe is a conglomerate. It's a little bit hard to tell, but from the side that we looked at, most of those clasts look quite angular. So let's take a look at the inside, and that is gorgeous. So there's a bluish crystal material that has filled in some of the cracks and voids, especially towards the bottom of the rock. And the top part is a beautiful red and white material with some really nice red and yellow banding that's filled in some of those veins. And here we can zoom in and see a little bit of that blue crystal material, as well as some of the larger and angular clasts that are in the rock, especially towards the bottom. On this side, it almost looks leaf-shaped, but really pretty and really unique. I haven't seen one with the blue crystal filling it in. I'm a sucker for the brecciated materials. I think they just look so cool, and this is a really neat one. All right, let's check out this rock. So from this side, we've got some classic yellow and red banding. It looks like desert patina, maybe the brown yellow color. But we get to this side and we have purple and green that's speckled, and that's really interesting. So that's what made me pick this one up and want to see what the inside looked like. And that is a bit of a surprise and very cool. All of that yellow and red on the outside was secondary in terms of the rock. So that happened later, and it looks like just to the exterior of the rock. And this banding is really cool. Very fine banding. We have little pieces of white stone that are interspersed throughout the bands, and then a larger collection of them at the bottom of the rock. And on this half, they're quite present in the upper parts of the purple also. But this is a really pretty one and really unique in terms of the coloration. The little white bits almost remind me of shell fragments. All right, let's check out this rock. So from the outside, you can see we've got some nice classic Wonderstone colors. Pinks and yellows, deep red. We have some interesting crystallization that's happened on the bottom part of the rock there where we saw the white. And then we have some really nice deep red veins here that have filled in kind of a dendrite pattern. So this one's got a lot of stuff going on. Inside should be interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look. And I thought it would be pretty, but somehow I am still surprised. Wow, that is really, really nice. So this is a Brecciated Wonderstone. We have a couple distinct zones with really nice pink and yellow, orange, red, purple banding going on. It becomes a little fuzzy and chaotic towards the left side where we get some of the nice deep red dendrite patterns coming in. We have dark banded Wonderstone towards the top around a nice fractured eye, and then some lighter pastel rainbow bands down towards the bottom. But just a stunner. Wonderstone, as you know if you watch the channel, is one of my favorite materials and just a really pretty piece. All right, let's check out this rock. So from the outside, you can see that it is from whatever the flow was in this area that was green. I've found a number of rocks that are this color green, and they're almost all a conglomerate style, which is kind of interesting. So I'm curious to see what the inside looks like on this one. And that is really cool, and a really nice green color with some nice green swirls in there. It's really easy to see the inclusions or the different class or rocks that are here in this conglomerate. We have several different colors, white and black, and in some of the material, it has inclusions, which is kind of cool too, but a really interesting variety of colors and patterns in both the green matrix as well as the rocks that are included as a part of it. I think this material would probably look really cool if it was polished. All right, and next we've got this rock. So from the outside, we've got a dark purple, maybe black, maybe brown color with a lot of small inclusions. This part of the rock, they look like they're yellow or orange. This is iron staining on the exterior, I'm guessing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inside, and that is pretty cool. So the yellow is iron staining. We can see just how far it seeped in around the different parts of the rock, and the other parts are left untouched, and the inclusions all look like they're white. They look like they're kind of radiating out from the center, but they're quite angular, so they haven't traveled very far and look like they're all part of the same material that then got swept up in the darker material. But really interesting, the darker matrix itself is purple and bluish and very dark in color, a really unique one. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments and which ones were your favorites and anything else you'd like to see on the channel. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Thank you again to all the current subscribers, and I will see you next time.